All right, well, welcome everyone, and thanks for joining us here this morning, both in the room here in San Francisco and remotely from around the world. We're excited to talk to you about today's topic, and I want to start with an experience that I think we all have had. The experience is that you're interested in a new app, and it's because you saw an ad for it on a billboard or on the subway, or a friend told you about it. And so what happens is you go and you start to download the app, you start to sign up for the app, but then a family member calls, or you have to get back to work, or as in the case of what happened to me 2 nights ago, your 2-year-old runs and grabs your phone and takes it away to watch their favorite toddler shows, and then you get a message from Apple saying that they tried to call emergency services too many times and they've been locked out for 2 hours. And so you can't finish signing up for the app or doing anything else. Life happens, the app gets forgotten. Unless within the first few moments of using that app, you had a magic moment, like we heard about a couple of times in our keynote this morning. And today what we want to do is we want to focus on one particular kind of magic moment, and that's a money movement user experience magic moment. I'm Dan. I work on our sales team here at Plaid, and I'm joined by Corinne, who leads our transfer team responsible for all of Plaid's money movement products. And we're excited to dive in on this with you this morning. So let's start by going back to one of the experiences that Layla had that we heard about in the keynote earlier today. And that was her experience of buying her first ETF or exchange-traded fund on the Ascend app. That was her magic moment. And what we want to do today is talk about 2 big questions. Why does that kind of activation moment matter? And secondly, what does it take to deliver that kind of moment? Let's start with why it matters. Well, it matters because you all spend an enormous amount of time, energy, and money getting your users to try your app, and then you spend more time, energy, and money getting them onboarded quickly and getting to the point of being signed up. But signed up by itself is actually not valuable. How do you go from signed up to activated? Activation requires delivering a moment of value within the first few minutes, or in some cases even seconds, that a user is trying your app. And delivering that value to your user, that's valuable to your business as well, because an activated user has a higher lifetime value, and they're much less likely to churn. So that's why these activation moments matter. But now let's talk about what it takes to deliver these magic moments, and again, specifically in money movement user experiences. I'd argue there's 3 main components, and I'll talk about the first 2 here in the next few minutes, and then I'll hand it over to Corinne to talk about the third. So the first component of that moment is account verification. The second is risk assessment. And then the third is transaction processing. Now, let's dive in on account verification and start with the fact that as an industry, we've moved well beyond the days where the standard in account verification was asking your user to manually enter their account routing number. And we've now introduced much more user-friendly experiences, like credential-based authentication. What you need in your account verification solution is 2 things. 1, to make sure that you've got the right account and routing number, and 2, to ensure that that account is owned by your verified user. And as many of you know, since Plaid's founding in 2013, we've been foundational to delivering a modern experience for account verification. And specifically, we've done that through the Plaid Link module. Plaid Link, as you can see here on the screen, allows you to choose their bank, authenticate their account, and be ready to transact within seconds. Plaid then provides a couple of endpoints, one called auth, which allows you to go and retrieve the account and routing number, and another one called identity, which allows you to verify that that account is owned by your verified user. So with Plaid Link, within less than 7 seconds on average, your user can have their verified account ready for them to create that magic moment. And Plaid Link supports nearly every American bank account. Over 12,000 financial institutions in the US, that's over 95% of all the depository accounts that exist in the US. And increasingly, it's available globally in Canada, the UK, across much of Europe, and expanding rapidly. With all of this, Plaid Link is now considered a standard for account verification, and it's recognized by users worldwide. And we're constantly working to make Plaid Link even better, and therefore to make account verification even easier. Over the past few months, we've invested in upgrading the infrastructure of data access by migrating to bank APIs that provide even more reliable and faster connections. We've also introduced biometric authentication for a substantial and growing portion of Plaid traffic, which makes verification simpler and even more secure for your users. And we've introduced personalization to Link for returning users based on geolocation and more. A big thank you to all of you for your feedback and collaboration as we've been able to bring these kinds of enhancements to the Plaid platform. So that's account verification on Plaid, and now let's turn our attention to the second component of delivering an activation moment for a money movement use case, and specifically that is risk assessment. Now, risk assessment for ACH, as many of you may know, is a really complicated and very nuanced topic. And for that reason, we have an entire breakout session at 2:25 this afternoon dedicated to this topic, and if you're interested in really going deep, I'd refer you to that session. But I did want to give you a preview and not keep you waiting. So to start with, you may know that with ACH money movement, one of the really big challenges is that funds don't settle or land in your account on the same day that they are pulled from the connected account. And another big challenge is that you have returns, which means the money could come back out of your account, in many cases for up to 60 days after that settlement event. The risk assessment problem is to figure out if you can predict with more certainty whether settlement is going to occur. And you may know that Plaid has long offered one tool to combat this risk, which is our balance endpoint. Balance ensures that your connected account has a sufficient amount of funds for that money movement event. But what we're announcing today is that balance is just one component of Plaid's new and robust authorization engine for risk assessment, which is called Plaid Signal. Signal actually combines over 1,000 risk attributes for every single transaction. Those are attributes specific to the transaction, the connected account, but also from across the Plaid network. And we're so confident in the model that we built with Signal that you actually can consume it in two flavors, the one in the middle and the one on the right. You can either take the scores yourself and input that into your risk assessment model, or you can actually consume Guarantee from Plaid. And Guarantee actually mitigates your return risk all the way down to zero on the back end, leveraging Signal and other factors that we can see at Plaid. So again, quick preview, lots more on this risk assessment topic, and would really encourage you to check out the session this afternoon if you're interested in learning more. So I'm about to hand it over to Corinne to talk about the third component, but before we do, I wanted to talk about a customer of Plaid's that's putting this all into practice in the real world, and that customer is Carvana. So Carvana's mission is to change the way that people buy cars by providing their customers a car buying solution that's fun, fair, fast, and powered by technology. But to deliver on that mission, they needed to improve on the way that their users make down payments on their cars. Before Plaid, it looked like this. So manual entry of account routing number, and in many cases, their car buying customer would need to then get on a three-party call with their bank representative, someone from the Carvana team, and themselves. And these calls could last 30 minutes. They had to happen during banking business hours. And the purpose of this process was just to verify sufficient balance to make that down payment for the car purchase. Definitely not a magic moment. With Plaid, Carvana now instantly verifies that externally connected account, that there's a sufficient balance on that account, makes that risk assessment, and that customer can complete their down payment within minutes. And as I think we're all aware, over the past few years, companies like Carvana have set a new standard in car purchasing. We're proud to have been able to partner with them in doing that. And now I'm going to turn it over to Corinne to talk about transaction processing.
Yay, Dan. Thanks, Dan. It's amazing how far car buying has come from companies like Carvana. So we've covered account verification and risk assessment, but what about actually moving the money? Once your customer has successfully verified their bank account, getting them to transact instantly is the final step of your magic moment. You need processing that's designed for modern digital experiences. Moving money effortlessly over ACH can be challenging, as not all processing is created equal. For example, some processors hold funds for 5 days or more before settling. That's not very helpful when you're trying to activate your users in real time. The right solution lets you get up and running with ACH easily, converts the vast majority of your users, and settles funds quickly and with certainty. That's where we come in. Plaid initially started to build a specific processing endpoint. However, after working closely with many of you, we realized that our customers wanted an ACH solution that combined Plaid's industry-leading account verification experience with risk assessment and processing, all in one single API. Plaid then launched a product for end-to-end ACH money movement last year called Transfer. Transfer enables seamless bank payments, powered by Plaid, with account verification, risk assessment, and money movement all in one. Now, we're excited to welcome more businesses to sign up. Transfer combines the front-end user experience that Dan talked about with efficient payment processing and a suite of tools, all in one product that's available through a single integration. You'll also have reconciliation reports and live transaction statuses to help you manage your payment operations, all within your dashboard or via API. With Transfer, you have a direct relationship with Plaid for both account verification and processing. That means that you can get set up quickly and there are no third parties or other contracts required. So, how quickly will your funds settle? Transfer leverages same-day ACH with short hold times, which can speed up settlement to 1 to 2 days after the transaction is initiated, compared to 5 to 7 days with some other providers. This timely settlement allows you to provide magical moments, knowing that your funds will settle quickly and with ease. And what about the risk of return? Transfer handles this in 2 ways. First, when you're ready to initiate a transaction, Transfer does a risk assessment to validate the account details and check the available balance. This will provide information to help you avoid returns, like for insufficient funds, which will give you higher confidence when giving users access to that magical moment. Despite reducing the risk of return, there is always some risk, unless the transaction is guaranteed, which, as you have all heard, is also available within Transfer. This afternoon, the session on reducing ACH fraud that Dan mentioned will go much deeper on this topic. Transfer is now available for a variety of businesses, including account funding, lending, and other key use cases, to meet Plaid's mission of unlocking financial freedom for everyone. Let me show you how it works. Let's imagine that I just opened a trading account with Ascend. The first thing I want to do is fund my account with $200 so I can start trading immediately. I simply type in the amount and click Deposit. Since I haven't added a payment method to Ascend yet, I'm prompted to connect a bank account, which I will do with Plaid. In the background, Ascend now initiates Link to create a token that will enable them to process transactions that I've authorized. And once I've linked my account, I can initiate future transactions in Ascend without having to re-verify it. I select my financial institution in Link, and then I'm directed to my bank's mobile app to authenticate. Herringbone Treasury and Plaid have migrated to a direct API integration, like the ones Dan mentioned earlier. This means I'm able to authenticate my account easily with Face ID, no credential entry required. I select the account I want to link to Ascend. I decided to use my checking account since I want to trade on the app often. Once complete, I'm brought back to the Ascend app. Then, I confirm all of the transaction details and I authorize the amount. I slide to complete, and I've just verified my account and authorized the transfer, all in less than 10 seconds. Now that the token has been created, it's time for Ascend to initiate the transaction by calling Transfer Authorization Create and including transaction details like type, network, and dollar amount. You can see here that Ascend is processing a $200 debit from my selected account. Transfer will then return an authorization decision, which includes the account verification and confirmation of the account's available balance. If Plaid detects an issue, like, for example, I do not have sufficient funds to cover that $200 transaction, then the authorization would be declined. For this transaction, Plaid detects no issue, and the authorization is approved. Ascend then submits this transaction for processing with Transfer Create and includes the authorization ID. Now, we can see that the transaction has been submitted and that it's pending. Ascend can confirm that my funds are in transit and let me trade immediately. In seconds, and with just a few lines of code, Ascend has created this magic moment for me. Now, ACH is a key rail for many use cases, especially for an account funding experience like mine. In fact, the use of same-day ACH doubled in 2021 with nearly $1 trillion processed. However, some businesses need to leverage not only ACH, but but additional payment methods like cards, digital wallets, or even wires. We recognize that your business may need a multi-rail processing solution, or maybe you already have a deep relationship with your processor. As a developer-first company, Plaid ensures that you can integrate our offerings to augment your existing platform infrastructure with ease. Over the past few years, Plaid has been investing in our partner ecosystem, a network of partners with direct integrations with Plaid. As Ginger mentioned, this ecosystem incorporates over 50 payment partners across North America and Europe, including payment service providers and banking-as-a-service platforms. With our partners, we serve a wide spectrum of verticals, from e-commerce to cryptocurrency. In the US, we partner with providers like Seal & Money and Modern Treasury to integrate Plaid's account verification solution into their processing technology for faster, easier money movement over ACH. Leveraging the power of Plaid and our diverse set of payment partners can save your business time and money across use cases. In Europe, partners embed our open banking payments and account information services within these companies' respective payments platforms. As a result, merchants and vendors can offer bank payments as an alternative payment method to streamline user activation. Some of our partners offer user experiences that can be dropped into your app along with Plaid Link, making moving money a magical moment. Overall, these tools and services can help you build delightful embedded finance experiences. As such, we continue to add new partners to our ecosystem, like Checkout.com, to support your business both domestically and abroad. If you're interested in learning more specifically about Checkout, we're actually hosting a fireside chat with them later this afternoon. Together with our partners, we have a holistic, global solution for your business. We're all equally committed to unlocking the future of embedded finance together. Finally, I want to share a bit about privacy and security regardless of your processing configuration. We've built all of our solutions to minimize the exposure of sensitive consumer data when not necessary to serve that consumer's needs. Instead of sharing raw account and routing numbers, Plaid's processing solution exchanges only a processor token. This tokenized model ensures that customers and processors alike do not need to store sensitive account details, which enables greater consumer protection while minimizing the liability risks for your business. Plaid has long been at the forefront of API and tokenized solutions to bring greater usability to ACH without increasing risk within the ecosystem. We fundamentally believe that consumers have a right to access and permission their financial data in a safe, secure manner, and we will continue to advocate for and help make that possible. So, we've shared a lot today about how Plaid can help you streamline user activation with industry-leading account verification, risk assessment, and transaction processing. At Plaid, we build for developers, so you can be sure that it will be simple and straightforward to integrate our APIs into your product with ease. If you're interested in learning more, I encourage you to reach out to your account manager or contact us via our website. Or, if you're already ready to go, our API documentation is all available online to help you get started on your integration. Thank you.